year is 2350 BC. The funeral of a pharaoh named Unas. But this is not a day of mourning, it's a celebration. For 3,000 years, the Egyptians clung to a cherished belief in the resurrection of the human spirit. Today, the soul of the pharaoh is being reborn. But the journey into the afterlife is not without its obstacles. These magic spells will guarantee a safe passage. The pharaoh's quest for eternity would inspire the most colossal monuments ever built in antiquity. The pyramids of Giza, near modern Cairo, are the world's most enduring testament to time. The oldest and the largest is the Great Pyramid. For over 4,000 years, it was the tallest man-made structure on Earth. Built of limestone, it's estimated that over 3 million blocks were quarried and hoisted into place, some weighing up to 15 tons apiece. The sheer wonder and perfection of the pyramids led Western travelers to speculate on who really built them and why. No mortal, and certainly no ancient Egyptian, could raise such immense stones. Was it the Creator himself to conceal his divine plan for the universe? Or was it the fabled civilization of Atlantis to house their ancient wisdom? Perhaps visitors from outer space. But what self-proclaimed experts and mystics failed to observe was that the pyramids at Giza were not isolated phenomena. From Cairo to Aswan, 650 miles south along the Nile Valley, scores of pyramids dot the landscape. Most the final resting place of the pharaohs and their queens, and most inexorably linked to the search for immortality. In ancient Egypt, the concept of the pyramid had its origins at the dawn of time. In the beginning, there was darkness and a formless ocean of chaos. Out of it arose a mound. On this mound appeared the sun god Ra, the embodiment of all life and energy, all light and warmth. Ra crossed the sky. Then at sunset, he plunged back into the chaotic abyss, only to be reborn the next morning at sunrise. The Egyptians hoped that by uniting their spirits with the sun god, they too could be swept into the cycle of eternal life. The pyramid was the vehicle to immortality, the resurrection machine. Seen as the mound of creation, it was part of an elaborate process conceived to assist the pharaoh on his journey to the afterlife. But no two pyramids were alike. Written on the walls of King Unis's tomb is a virtual guide to immortality. Called the Pyramid Texts, it's filled with arcane formulas and spells. One to rid the pharaoh of all wrongdoings. A soul full of sin can't go to heaven. One to protect him from scorpions and snakes he might encounter along the way. One to announce his arrival to the sun god Ra. Unis's tomb presents an extraordinary vision of the afterlife. A self-contained resurrection machine, it was born out of the soil and psyche of the Egyptian people. But until now, the true story of the pyramids would remain as obscure as those who built them. Towering over an ancient cemetery at Saqqara, some 10 miles south of Cairo, is Egypt's first pyramid. Called the Step Pyramid, it's also the first tall structure ever built in stone. Dedicated to the resurrection of King Djoser in 2610 BC, the Step Pyramid was something new. Before, the Egyptians had built their monuments of mud brick and wood. But here, not just a pyramid, but an entire complex of chapels and courtyards had been rendered for eternity in imperishable stone. The mastermind behind Djoser's complex was the king's minister and architect, Imhotep. A scholar and self-made man, his achievement earned him the title of Vizier, the highest official in the land. Later, the Egyptians would even worship him as a saint. But recently, a new discovery far south of Saqqara, at the Royal Cemetery at Abydos, has raised the spectre of who the true genius behind the resurrection machine really was. Here, 500 years before the arrival of the pyramid, the first kings of Egypt were buried under low rectangular mounds of sand and gravel. Since 1995, Günter Dreyer of the German Archaeological Institute and his team have been excavating the tomb of King Khasakemui, who ruled Egypt in 2680 BC. The largest royal tomb at Abydos, it was filled with underground chambers fit for a king.
The tomb is built in sun-dried mud bricks. It has about 65 chambers, and its whole length is about 200 feet. The chambers were